Welcome, everyone. Nice to have you online. And today we're going to discuss about tech-powered growth, streamlining internationalization in professional services. So that's the agenda for the webinar today. My name is Gadi Pavlizarov. I'm the director of the international sales at Heros. I've been working 10 years with the companies doing international business, so I have some information about what's going in the professional services companies when going international. Today, I will be one of your hosts for the webinar, and together with me, I have my lovely friend and colleague, Freddie.
Hi guys, great to have you on board for this webinar. My name is Freddie Palmgren. I work at Heros as Business Development Director. I'm very passionate about SaaS software and bringing efficiency and boosting productivity. I come with around 20 years entrepreneurial background with the last 10 years working in PSA software development.
Nice. Thank you, Freddie. A couple words about the practicalities. So we hope that there would be a lot of questions during the webinar. And on your right-hand side, there is a chat where you can basically write the questions. We will leave some time at the end of webinar. So we will have, let's say, more or less 30 minutes time for the topics, and then we will leave time for the end. So please, if you have any questions during the presentation, write those down and we will go those through at the end of the webinar. But let's start. Are you ready, Freddie?
Yes.
Good. So key insights for today. We will demonstrate with a case example, understanding the common challenges that the international professional service companies are facing. That's where we start. Then we introduce some strategies, how to build a scalable, growth-oriented tech stack. We'll show you some examples, what to take into consideration when starting this journey. And the last but not least, we will demonstrate some key considerations when selecting the right vendor. So there's a lot of things that needs to be taken into consideration when thinking about tech stack and selecting the right vendor, and we will bring you some really specific things to help that decision. But that's it. Then let's continue and let's get actually a little bit what Heros is to bring you around the topics that we're going to discuss today. So shortly, Heros is a company. We have 80 people working in the company with the revenue of 11 million euros from last year. How we want to basically position ourselves, we are unique one-stop shop for the business critical process applications. Meaning that from our desk, you can get everything that you need in order to handle your finances. So the bookkeeping, purchase invoices, sales invoices, archiving, bank connections. So that's something that from our financial cloud you are able to get. Then we have a second cloud, so-called ERP cloud. And there we have a professional service automation solution. So that's also the topic for today for the companies that are working in the professional service segment. So we have a solution to cover those needs also globally. Then we have People Cloud, having their payroll and HR solutions. And to basically fill this up, we have so-called Partner Cloud. And there we have, for example, BI reporting, picking up one thing from that cloud. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for the CFOs and CEOs to cover the needs which are needed in order to run the business successfully. We have a lot of integrations to third-party systems as well. So that's one of the kind of key points for us as well. So you are not limited to use only Heeros solutions, but you are able to integrate it basically with any other software that is in use. We are international and we want to grow. So that's basically in a nutshell what Heeros is. We have 200 international clients working basically in more than 20 countries. Most of the clients are working in Europe, but we have also clients in US and even in Asia. So that's it. And hopefully you know something about Heeros. And then let's jump into the topic. So common challenges when professional service companies are going international. Usually when the growth is really fast and you're implementing new companies around the world or around Europe, the softwares are not the top priority when you're going international, and especially when the growth is fast. And as the end result, you end up often to a situation where you implement country-specific solutions. And it might be, let's say, if you have 3 different countries, that you have 3 different solutions for the same purpose. And this ends up basically to a situation that the visibility for the business is getting hard, it's getting bad. The processes are not scaled, and those don't scale. And being able to lead and make good business decisions is getting extremely hard. And let's have a case example here. Imagine that you have a company. Let's say the company is originally from Finland, and the company wants to expand through M&A or organic growth to a second country. Let's say we're going to Sweden. So in Sweden, what already happens is that you have a different currency. Of course, you have different culture, etc. But from the software perspective, the new currency is already bringing kind of an extra variation to all the processes, reporting, and visibility for the business. And if you decide, let's say, to add third country, in this case, it might be Norway. And in Norway, again, you have a new currency, NOK, and this is bringing kind of an extra layer on top of the complexity that you face. So in sales, you need to report in 3 different currencies. When you're doing quotes and when you're doing reporting kind of further on, it's already kind of a time consuming to transfer all the currencies to different or to your homeland currency, which is in this case euro. And not just the sales department, but also finance department needs to have a reporting in 3 different currencies. And from the software point of view, this is bringing kind of a complexity. And usually what happens, companies are starting to do kind of a manual processes to cover the hiccups that the solution cannot cover. And quite often this happens. So it's not a unique thing that this kind of situation is something that the companies end up.
Do you Kari have any analytics on how many companies regarding their tech stack plan for international growth?
It's a good question, and I would say that I don't have kind of a specific analytics about this, but based on the meetings that I'm having, I would say that around 9 companies out of 10 end up to this kind of situation, and that's a lot. And like said in the beginning, when you still have a uncertainty that are we going to succeed, because going international is really hard. It's not an easy task to do. And maybe also that's the reason why companies don't put so much effort in the beginning to think about this. And then when they end up to a situation that the processes don't scale, then they start to make decisions or they kind of notice that we need to do something, we need to fix the problem somehow. And that, my dear friend, brings us that's what to do. So how to tackle the problems and select proper software for your needs, that the tech stack is actually supporting you to do your international business scalable and efficient. And everything starts with the company's strategy and vision. So when you are starting to build your international growth, and especially when you have noticed that, hey, the actions that we're doing and the expansion that we're doing internationally is working, you need to define that what will be the strategy at least for the next 3 years, but in the best case for a little bit longer, even for 5 years. And when you have this strategy work defined, and you have a kind of a path how you're going to do the actions in the next 5 years, the next thing is to basically commit the management people at least to this strategy, but also for selecting the software. And when this job has been done, and when the definitions have been done that what type of software would be the one that would support us, then it basically starts the work. And like I said, it's good to plan things at least 5 years ahead. There are a lot of things that companies need to think to understand the market demands, of course, in the business-wise, but also from the solution-wise. As a one example, let's take e-invoicing. So that's happening now a lot in Europe. Some countries have already established that there will be a mandate that the companies doing B2B business needs to be able to send out and receive e-invoices. And for some vendors, this is something that they need to have a partner to cover this. And at least you need to be aware that what is happening in the market and how to tackle those demands, but also what kind of possibilities that brings to your business. Because these kind of changes might be also game changers to do business in a different way. Then when you have selected the proper vendor and you have defined like what are the needs, the really important part, but also extremely hard part, is to implement in smart order. So when talking about PSA solutions, there are a lot of kind of a complexity in it. So you need to involve your sales department in it. You need to involve your project and the people that are doing the actual work, all the time tracking that are needed. The project management, and also the finance department. So the whole company in the PSA is somehow involved. And if you have a good implementation plan and you do things in the right pieces, in right order, you get the people working with the solution. But in the worst scenario, it might be that people are reluctant to do it. And then the time-consuming part is really big on that scale. So pay attention to that. And the last bullet, that are you looking just for solution partner or vendor that can help you in your growth? This is, in my opinion, a really key thing. So there are a lot of different type of vendors. There are SAPs, so huge vendors that have everything that you need, but also it costs a little bit more time and money. And then you have companies like Heros, which is, I would say, rather small, but wants to grow and wants to be a vendor that supports our existing and new clients to do the growth path together with us. So we are the ones that want to know how the market evolves, that the company can concentrate on their core business, and we are the vendor that basically helps out and is up to date with everything that happens in the technology and for example in the e-invoicing market. How does this really sound to you when
Very good.
selecting a good partner? Nice. Then let's proceed. So one of the key things for the webinar was how to gain competitive advantage. If you consider that you would have a really complex tech stack, so you have in different countries, different solutions for the same purposes, and you would like to start building up on top of that data kind of a new layers. It might be kind of an extra service for your business or for your clients that you want to provide. If you compare that you have a really complex tech stack, or you have all the information which is crucial in one place, you can do the math. So based on our experience, it's 50% more efficient to start building on top quality data, new services or extra layers, products that you want to provide for your company or for your clients. If you have everything in one place compared that you have scattered information in multiple places. This also brings much more visibility, control, and real-time information for making a good business decisions and scale the growth. So normally when you have multiple solutions, you are doing your reporting and kind of monthly actions once in a month. And that basically leads to a situation that you have 1 month old data, because bringing the data together is taking so much time and is causing so much manual work that the efficiency is basically gone, and you don't want to do it too often. And when this situation is on, it also brings you to the situation that these days changes can happen really fast. When looking back at the few years, we had COVID, which was really kind of in really short notice, the whole world basically shut down. And when the companies that were able to react fast were the companies that also made it a success. Now we have crazy things happening in Ukraine. We have really bad things happening in Gaza, and these are things that also affects the two markets. And if you don't have real-time data available for making the business decisions, you might end up to problems. So the world has changed to a really kind of fast changing environment, and that's why if you want to gain competitive advantage, you need to be able to act fast. And this also brings us to the last bullet, that when you have kind of the basement and the baseline in good shape, you are able to try new innovations. You are able to provide new services for clients, and this way you are ahead of the competitive advantage against your key players and key competitors. But that has been a lot of information from my side, and Freddie, the stage is yours.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Okay, so as we continue our journey now through today's webinar, let's dive deeper into the art of crafting an integrated tech stack. Let's explore how to select tools that are not only powerful in their individual roles, but also together harmonize to boost efficiency. And the three key focus areas we're going to be talking about now are marketing and sales tools, the PSA, the professional service automation software, and also accounting software. So this is the trio we're going to be focusing on. Let's examine an example tech stack to understand the impact of integrated technology for a business and the business operations. In this example, we're focusing on the seamless connection between HubSpot for marketing and sales, Heeros PSA for project management, and a compatible accounting software. This powerful trio will form a unique system where data is seamlessly transferred and integrated, making it much simpler to manage the whole customer journey from start to finish. Okay, so let's explore how to make the customer journey as smooth as possible, starting with HubSpot for marketing and sales, our first software in the stack. Starting with the web page creation and superb tools to monitor visitor interaction, HubSpot plays a crucial role in ensuring a seamless transition from visitors' first interactions to their evolution into an MQL, a marketing qualified lead, and then gradually to a sales qualified lead, an SQL. HubSpot is a great tool for sales teams, making it an easy to handle sales tasks like emails, activities, tasks, keeping track of leads, and it helps salespeople stay organized and in touch with potential customers throughout the journey. With everything in place, HubSpot makes the sales process, of course, very smooth and efficient. The second tech in our stack is Heeros PSA. Of course, now transitioning from the sales team to the project management team, we need a good integration in between these two softwares, and that's what a PSA should offer you. There's usually going to be some friction here between the sales team and the project team delivering the deals from closed to won, and from there on tracking and managing the projects to invoiced. The integration will ensure a seamless transition and maintain the continuous workflow within the teams. Looking at PSA software, an ideal PSA software should come with a built-in CRM integration, and our recommendation is, of course, that you would then have also such features as time tracking, resource planning, expense management, invoice management, and cost management. These are, of course, the core elements of a good PSA that you should be looking for to manage your projects. The third component in our tech stack is the accounting software with some additional features I will be talking about. It's really important that you pick an accounting software that works well with your PSA software and that the integration is seamless on many fronts. This, of course, will help you keep all your tasks synced. It will help you minimize manual work and hassles with receipts and other papers that you need to send to your accountants. But it will also make you help you streamline your transparency in your finance management in your company. In addition to an accounting software, it will be really good to take into consideration already open banking and integrations to banking systems for payment tracking and real-time reconciliation. This will give you a real-time visibility into all your financials. In conclusion, I hope our example has demonstrated how integrating these three tech elements can create efficient sales, project, and finance management system to boost your business and teams. And we really think that this arrangement will most definitely enhance productivity and transparency in your work.
Thank you, Freddie. And there was actually a question, and I also was wondering that do you have any experience if you compare now that in this scenario you would have everything integrated, right? And what if the tools that are used in this example, you have HubSpot, Heeros, PSA, and then the accounting, it might be like other products, but what is kind of the time saving if you have everything integrated compared that you wouldn't have the things integrated and you would do a lot of manual work there in between?
That's a really good question. Ourselves working in with this kind of tech stack, of course, implementation is one question. So how tech savvy is your company? Do you already have some of these elements in place? This will for sure make it easier to implement the other software. We're talking about the adoption and onboarding of your different teams. How much will you save in money and time is a big question, and it's of course company specific. But we are looking at if we first think about the hours, for example, how much time your team can save on manual tasks and disjointed working not working with disjointed software. We have seen with our existing clients really big percentage increases in billable rates going up, less time spent on manual tasks, everything becomes more efficient. And then, of course, on the other side, then when you are more efficiently spending your time and tracking your hours, your billable rate will go up, which means your revenue will go up,
Exactly.
and your profits will improve.
Yes.
So there is no one answer to that, but it's a like a complete solution that you need to think about when you're now going to invest in a new tech stack or update your current situation.
So it actually affects to a lot of different places that you won't necessarily even realize when you're doing or when you're thinking about it. It's not only manual transfer, but it's like the total that you gain.
And it's so true what you said about the return on investment or the investment of 3 to 5 years, because you will of course have an upfront cost with your software, but the return on investment going forward is what you should be thinking about.
Exactly, and you don't want to switch these solutions every year, no? Right? Good, thank you, Freddie. All right, it's almost half hours that we have gone through, and some advice for the road ahead and what to take and what to remember after this webinar. So make sure that the solutions that you're selecting is in line with your decided strategy. So like just said, you don't want to be switching the solutions every year because it's a big investment to your company, for the personnel, and for the processes, how you work. Select the right partner, select the right vendor, support the future growth. You don't want to be spending time on the local country specific needs. You want to select a partner that knows what they are doing and how the markets in each and every country is evolving. Draw the big picture and start implementing one piece at a time. Don't try to do too much at the same time. So normally when we're talking about companies that are doing this kind of a switch and starting to implement a new solution, it will take normally at least half a year. And that's already, when doing the implementation, that's already kind of a really short time. So in normal cases, when you have, let's say, 50 people working in the company, it might take even 1 year to do the implementation fully. Please, if you have any questions or plans regarding the topic, feel free to contact us. You will be receiving also the recording of this webinar in an email, but feel free to contact us if there is any questions. And now let's check if we have any questions in the chat. And actually there is. Nice. In your opinion, what is the most crucial step in implementing the PSA software? Is this, Freddie, something that you would like to take, or should I take it, or should we both take this? Yeah. So if I can start, in my opinion, the most crucial thing is that first, when you have a vendor selected, you need to be totally up to date with how the processes are working. So this is as a kind of a starting point, because the implementation will there will be personnel included in the implementation. So the people are adding their time tracking there, and the people that are using the solution. So you need to make sure that the processes which are now implemented and the solution that you have are supporting each other. And this doesn't mean that you need to keep the old ways of working, how you have been using or how you have been doing the job, let's say 5 years before the new solution. So it might be that there needs to be done some tweaks for the processes and to the way of working when you select a new solution. But once you have that in a clear picture, how the solution works and how you put your process to the supporting, Then you take the people and you start the implementation. And you do it in a one piece out of a time. And do you agree, Freddie, that normally in our case, the companies are mostly starting with the time tracking? That's kind of the thing that, let's say, 90% of the companies normally do, and there's a need for everyone to do the time tracking when doing the implementation.
Absolutely, yeah. Time tracking and invoicing are the most and the first features that our customers start using.
Exactly. And like I said, it's good in the implementation to start with the one piece. And then when that's crystal clear, then you start to expand the usage of the solution. So you don't, it's not advisable and not suggested to start using everything which you have in the solution in the beginning. Really good question. Thanks for that. And it's a really crucial also to get good customer journey, because that's where it starts from the implementation. All right, I guess time is up. Thank you so much for participating. And like I said, if you have any questions or your company have plans to start growing internationally, feel free to contact us.